right, Eddie, and welcome to Vlog 12. 7 thumbs down versus, I figured we were going to have a couple of people unhappy with the Tahoe and the Jeep being traded in, but this is a vlog with a bunch of combination of everything. I mean, we got the Dodge Ram, we got the boat. You don't want to see any forklift videos, those are boring. But Easter weekend, today is Thursday. No, today is Wednesday, April the 12th. And it's time to get the boat out of winterization. Well, you know, my puny little winterization that I do. But it's time to go ahead and hook the battery back up, make sure I got plenty of juice. And we're probably going to take this to the lake with us on a trip tomorrow. So let's do it. If my memory serves me correctly, it should be a 12. There it is. My good old voltmeter. Actually, it's an amp meter, but it's got a good voltmeter on there to read AC and DC. Okay, so all I gotta do is hook up those two connections to the positive. But before we do so, voltage. Yay! 12.4. Okay. This is a non-battery expert explanation on it. Now, batteries. Normally when batteries are in storage or they have a decent amount of life still left in them, you'll see a voltage of 12 or higher in voltage. 9 times out of 10, you'll see 12.2 to 12.4 or 12.5. Of course, when you start your engine and your alternator starts putting current back into the system, you're at 13.5 and 14.5. 14's on the high side. But if your battery has been in storage and you have a voltage of at least 12, 12.2 and higher, you got a very good chance that everything should be perfectly fine and you don't have to put a charger on it, or that it's time to replace it. As a safety precaution, make sure you have plenty of... Oh, look, it's not a 1/2 inch. Screw it, let's try a 14. 14 works. Okay. Now if I can get this over without losing the strap. That is it. Back, and we got juice. Let's check the engine over real quick to make sure there's no leaks. I mean, obviously it's been sitting in storage nice and secure. There's my fuel tank, and drive oil, we're fine. Condition of the oil itself, let's check that out. Yeah, it does need an oil change soon. Take a look at the drive belt. Drive belt looks good. Pulleys look good. Hoses are fine. The quick disconnect is back in place from when I drained the block. So air arrestor is good. We know the power is fine. So we should be good to go when it comes time to crank it up. It's impossible to do this by myself right now, hold the air chuck while checking the tire pressure. But most trailers, unless it's an older boat, will have the specifications right here at what PSI you should have your tires pressurized to. And it talks about the weight of the trailer and stuff. but also just confirm, because some people put car tires on these things, and this is why it's good to put a trailer tire back where it goes. But confirm the writing on the side of your tire matches with what's on the trailer. Boat's ready to go. Trailer tires are up to the correct pressure. Everything is hitched to the new Tahoe, which worked out just perfectly fine. And we are ready to go to the lake for the first time in 2017. We made it safe and sound. Boat hasn't been started since last year when we did the little winterization on it. You saw the video if you've been watching the channel. So we're gonna go to the lake tomorrow, but before we do so, I'm gonna go ahead and hook it up to the muffs and run it on the hose real quick and make sure everything is ready to go, so when we get down to the lake we won't have any surprises. Okay, so we're at the bottom, let me grab the muffs. So do you need the blower without the cover on? Probably not. But you know there's going to be that one person. I'm going to turn the engine over for about 3 seconds. Okay. Then I'm going to pump the throttle. I'm going to do it about probably 7 times. Okay. I say it's been since October since it was last started. That actually went really smooth. So now I'm going to let it run up to temperature. The TKS system that you can hear hissing in the background will close and the engine will idle back down and start idling smooth, and we'll let it run for about 10 or 15 minutes more, and then when we get to the lake tomorrow we just got to go turn the key and be ready to go. TKS is finally shut down, engine is up to running temperature, and sounds like a good purring little diesel engine. That's a joke. Got to make a little clarification for the people who have just started watching the channel on this vlog. When I mean going to the lake, most of the times what I mean is coming up to the in-laws, which is 2.5 hours away, and then going to their lake place. That's what I meant by we're going to the lake tomorrow, meaning this morning. All right, let's get back to the boat. We're here at the boat ramp over at Highland Rock Lake, and I about almost screwed up. Yes, and the worst part about it is I don't have a wrench to stick this in. So we're trying to see if these nice people here may have a pair of pliers or something. We can tighten this up and go ahead and get the boat in the water. Father-in-law is driving the Tahoe.
Which one's mine?
Probably the large one, or the yellow one that says small. Now since we got everything running yesterday, it should be just a turn of a key, not even having to pump anything. Oh, that was easy. There you go. kind of muddy, all the rain that we've had, but it's also brought the lake level. Full pond at High Rock Lake, Salisbury, North Carolina. Gauges look good. Voltage looks good. Fuel, got plenty of fuel. 33.1 hours. A little bit of my cat. Got some blue sky back here, so that's good. A lot of y'all have asked, what is the top speed of a Bayliner 175? Since it's nice and calm out right now, I'll show you. So right now, according to the Dream meter, we're doing 25 at 3,000. If I trim it up a little bit, I'm gonna go full throttle. Now wait a second, in a couple of clips before you said a nice running diesel. That was a joke. If you've never owned a 3.0 Mercruiser before, it's basically the 2.5 Chevrolet engine, but 3.0, and it's very loud. It's a very clunky engine. Solid as a rock if you keep it maintained, but when it's running good, it sounds like a little quiet diesel. Back at the dock, all tied up. We are good to go. Shut the boat off. Let the blower run for a little bit and then we'll shut that off. This boat here, if you've watched last year, we did a little cold start on this. This is the boat that my father-in-law rarely ever uses. So we're gonna go ahead and stick it in the water and get it going as well. We had a dead battery. So y'all remember that Christmas gift I got? Uh-oh. Dead jump box. Dead boat battery. Dead boat. So now we gotta wait for the boat battery to charge up. We hope it will charge up. Booster box just in case the boat battery fails on us, and then we'll get the father-in-law's boat out in the water. Plus the neighbors arrived with his 25-foot pontoon. So this is kind of getting interesting. Well, there's some bit of bad news. We blew the engine. No, not on the Bayliner. On this boat. Well, we really didn't blow it. I think it was on its way out. Let me explain. I believe this is a 1990 or 93 Evinrude 50 horsepower with a VRO system. Don't ask me what that stands for, but in a nutshell, instead of having choke butterflies on the carburetors, it uses a primer type system, and it pre-mixes everything in this little gizmo right here. So basically the oil goes into here, the fuel goes into here, and it then goes into the carburetor to a correct mixture. But when it doesn't work correctly, and this is one, I kid you not, if you've watched all my videos before, I hate outboard motors with a passion. They always blow. I hate to say it, but unless you get a 4-stroke, these 2-strokes, the old 60 motors and 70 motor, well, early 70s, late 60s, they were built, like a tank. These newer ones, man. So basically what happened was the VRO system failed. We got what we thought was a false alarm at first, and it stopped. Thought it was an overheating issue, when it wasn't. It wasn't getting any oil. And we found this out by basically pulling this fuel line and sticking it into a glass container to see if there was any premix in there at all. And there wasn't. It was straight gas, but it was too late. When we tried it again this morning, we were having some issues with the battery. The starter motor went kapooey as well. It was just a bad couple of days with this boat. And then finally, we believe the crankshaft or the connecting bearings finally have locked up. You can't even turn this at all. And like I said, the starter motor went kapooey. So, after a couple of booster boxes later and trying to get it corrected with the correct oil, and it bit the dust. If you're a long-time subscriber, you've seen this boat before, and you know in my video before I said, the father-in-law doesn't use it much. Yes, this is what can happen sometimes if you let a boat sit. Stuff like this can happen, but at the same time, this is an outboard motor, and this kind of stuff happens. On a side note, yeah, no pun intended, our Bayliner's been running perfect. We've been very, very fortunate to have a good boat. Now, one of the things I've been asked on a couple of the comments, and we accept all comments, I don't care what they are, because they're going to be good and they're going to be bad, and we're very fortunate to have more supportive comments than negative. But one of them was, well, isn't a Bayliner a crappy boat? No, it's not. That thing's jam up. But you also got to remember, when I bought it, it was practically brand new. It just had been stored for 6, 7, 8 years. We've kept it up. We've kept it in a warehouse, and we've used it and winterized it when it's been needed. And it's a turnkey boat. So, unfortunately, this kind of stuff here, it's welcome to boating. It happens. Neighbors taking their pontoon boat out. We've been very fortunate to have the water at full pond. Man, that thing's huge. This is going to wrap up our boating adventure part of our Easter weekend. We're putting the boat up a little bit early because we have a bunch of family coming over for Saturday night dinner and blah, 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 blah. And we're probably going to leave around noontime tomorrow. So while it's nice out right now, we got our boat ride in for the day. Got a couple of hours put on the boat for the weekend, which is good. We blew one boat motor up. And my father-in-law has the trailer ready to go and meet us over at the boat ramp. So if nothing else happens so far, I would call this weekend a halfway success, with the exception of a blown motor on the other one. Ooh.